Blessings to all of you. My name is Joshua from Chosen Vessels, the Preacher's Channel. Today is 4/6/2019. In our previous presentation, we went over the word covenant, what it means to be in a covenant, as well as the advantages of being in a covenant, especially to be in a covenant with Yahweh and with his salvation. Yashi, the arm of Yah, or the arms of the Lord. Yashi, Yesha, Yeshua, or Jesus. So in a quick review, the word to tie, which is in direct connection with the word covenant in Spanish, is corvata, corvata. And the word for covenant in Spanish is pacto, pacto. In modern Hebrew, the word for to tie is aniva, aniva. Unfortunately, there is no the word covenant does not exist in modern Hebrew. So the equivalent for the word covenant in modern Hebrew is the borrowed word protocol, protocol. Okay, so the ancient Hebrew, the Eve, is our field of study. And how do you say to tie something in the Eve? It is blanu, balana. And the word for covenant in the Eve is nu blah blah NBL. Okay, the ba is the element. Is the structure. This is again backward, because when flipping things around, I forgot to bring it back. So the ba is the structure, the la is the rule, and the element is the na. So a covenant in the ancient Hebrew is element held to the structure, or holding an element to a structure with what? Rules, by means of rules and commands. And then we learned that to be in a covenant is to have a shepherd, or a shepherd staff, or to have rules, to have some restrictions, to abide by commands or precepts, which is the law. And to be in a covenant is to be within the ba, is the structure. Okay, to be in a covenant is to have safety, is to have comfort. And to be in a covenant is to have all these three in place. Wherefore our people went into captivity, because they disregarded the law, the structure, the rules that were set in place to hold them to the structure. And the structure here, the ba, is also the land of Israel. It's because they disregarded the rules that were meant to keep them in place, that what? They went into diaspora. Nothing is holding you down. They went into diaspora. The fence, the ba, was broken. Okay, and Babylonians came in, and then Assyrians came in, and which is here. You see a sheep by itself in the wilderness. He or she is no longer in a fence, and the shepherd is not there. Yahweh has abandoned the people, and they were taken away and out of the land. So outside a covenant, there is absence of rules, there is absence of a structure, there is no guidance, there is no safety, there is no fence procuring the people's safety, and they were left to wander from place to place, and they became prey. When there is no fence, when there is no structure to protect you, you become prey, and people take advantage of you easily. That's what happened to our people to this very day. We have details about the meaning of a covenant in our previous video presentation, and be sure to check it out if you have not done that yet. Today, the word conscience, okay, is what we want to take a close look at, especially how our human conscience is born. Okay, it's what we'd love to reveal to you today in the ancient Hebrew. So the word for conscience in Spanish is conciencia. Conciencia. Okay, it is translated as awareness, and the word for conscience in modern Hebrew is modaot. Modaot. It is also translated as awareness. And the word for conscience in the Arabic or the ancient Hebrew is ji, chi, nya. Okay, ji, chi, nya. The ja, the ch, and the nya. So in jichinya or conscience, you have the ja, which is a combination of the da and the z. The da is the do, or I mean, it is the da, which is to launch. Okay, this is where letter D derived from. It means to launch, and the z is the drawing of a plow, kodze or kodze. So the G here is the heart. Okay, the z meaning labor and energy. So our heart is what keeps us going. Okay, without our heart, we become lifeless. We become dead. Okay, so the G is our heart. Without our heart, we will not be able to continue going. We will not be able to continue living. That is the J. And the Ch, it means to catch or to fetch or to seize. It is a combination of the ta, meaning a mark or a target, and the sa, which is the symbol of two teeth. Okay, it is at the same time showing us how to pronounce this sound, the sh. It is pronounced by the clenching of the front teeth. Okay, so the meaning of teeth is to seize or to catch or to clench, which happens in the catching of fish. Before you catch a fish, you gotta first precisely target it. Okay, and then secondly, it is seized, it is caught. It is you grab it. Okay, that is the catching, the ch, to ch in Arabic. And then the nya is information. It is a combination of the na and the ya. The na is the element, and the ya is a flow or a current. So an information is the element in circulation. Okay, it is the current, what is happening. uh it is the event, what is taking place, what is going on around us. Okay, so in consciousness, in ji chinya, you have the ja, the heart, and the cha, which is to catch or to pick or to select, and the nya, information. Okay, so our conscious is the heart catching information, or the heart drawing in information. And how does it work? Our heart is continuously drawing in informations. So if you look at uh, consciousness in the ancient Hebrew, you would see a heart with a fishing pole catching information, bringing in information, which happens from birth, from childhood to adulthood. So the amount or the makeup of the information that we begin to draw within us from childhood to adulthood is what we call my conscience, is what you will call your conscience. Wherefore, an unconscious person is not able to respond to signals. It is not able to draw in information. The heart, in a state of unconsciousness, is not able to draw in information, or is not able to respond to signals. You can kick or prick or shock an unconscious person, but he or she will not respond because there is no conscious at this moment. The heart is not able to draw in signals. The heart is not able to inform him or her of whatsoever. The whole body becomes insensitive and unable to receive information, or to pick up or to draw inside him or her information. And this state we call unconsciousness. Wherefore, how is our human conscience born? Okay, it is the makeup of the information that I am drawing in my heart. My conscience becomes the makeup of the information that I am drawing in my heart, in myself. Your conscience becomes the makeup of the information that you are drawing in yourself. The nature of my conscience, be it good or bad, is the makeup of the types of information that I am allowing in my heart. Your conscience, the nature of your conscience is the makeup of the types of the information that you are drawing within you. As examples, a Muslim has a different conscience. A Jew has a different conscience. A Christian has a different conscience. And an atheist, or a person who has never set foot in church, has a different conscience. That's why we don't see things the same way. And we're always arguing and clashing over what is true. It is because a Muslims have a different conscience in relation to the kind of information they are drawing within their heart from the Quran. The information that they are drawing, they are storing up in their heart, becomes their conscience. So a Muslim has a Quranic conscience. It is all based, it's all Quran based. A Jew has a different conscience in relation to the kind of information he or she is drawing in himself or in herself from the Torah. A Jew has a Torah conscience. A Christian has a biblical conscience based on the information that she or he is drawing into herself from the Bible. It becomes his or her conscience. And likewise, a secular person has a secular conscience because it depends on the information that he or she is drawing in her or his heart from his or secular books. So we all have different consciences, which is the makeup of the kind of information we are storing up in our heart. And it causes us to not be able to see things the same way. It causes us to not have the same understanding or the same perspective on life in general. A Muslim with his or her Quran based conscience is certain that he or she is right. Likewise, a Jew with his or her Torah based conscience is certain that he or she is in the right. A Christian with his or her biblical view is certain that he or she is right. And a secular person with his secular view is in his eyes or in her eyes, according to him or her, is in the right. So we are always constantly clashing. And to name a few examples of the variety of consciences or consciousness, there are dietary consciousness. We all don't have the same approach about food. I may like eating potatoes today, and as soon as I learn something new, something bad about potatoes, I'll change my mind. A person may be um, a vegan one day, and the next day he flips based on the information, the new information that is given him or her. And there is religious consciousness. A Muslim can overnight change to become a Christian, and vice versa, depending on the information that is imparted to him or her. And there is moral consciousness. If I stopped learning about how to do things the right way, and I begin to plug myself into a satanic Bible, to read the satanic Bible, and to practice it, my moral conscience will flip from a biblical consciousness to a devilish consciousness. And there is consciousness of danger. There is danger consciousness. Some people are adventurous. They are more prone to take risks, whereas others don't. It all depends on the kind of information that I know. It depends on my experience in regards to what is a danger and what is not a danger, what is safe and what is not safe. There is political consciousness. Some are more politically inclined than others. And there is legal consciousness. Some people don't know that bribing people to gain advantage is wrong, whereas others know that bribery is wrong. It all depends on what he or she knows. And there is a sinful conscience. If I expose myself all the time to murder shows or to bad shows, it becomes my conscience. And a pure conscience is the person that is always plugging its himself or herself into divine principles, and in doing things the ways of Yahweh, and it becomes his or her conscience. It is a clean conscience. So if you wonder why I do what I do, if you wonder why you do what you do, and if you wonder why your children do what they do, or if you wonder why people are the way they are, well, we'd love to make it clear to you that it is the result of what we are exposed to, whether good or bad. What goes inside us becomes our mindset, it becomes our heart set, it becomes our conscience, which then becomes the very basis, the root or the maxim of our decisions and choices. Our conscience varies from one person to another in relation to our geographical location. What is wrong in the United States may not be wrong in China, and uh, uh, consciousness varies depending on your religion, depend on our religion, because our books are teaching us different things, different concepts, and consciousness varies with moral values because we all have different standard of what is right and what is wrong. And consciousness varies with age. Children are not danger conscious, whereas adults are danger conscious because they have seen enough and they have experienced enough, and it causes a major problem that we all have different opinions and that we all have different perspective, that we all have different outlook on life. And how do we go on solving this dilemma? Our approach is Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 9. It reads, quote, "For then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of the Lord to serve him with" what? One consent in unity, unquote. So according to the words of Yahweh, according to the words of the Bible, unity will be restored to mankind. We will find harmony once the pure language is restored back to us, once the ancient Hebrew, the Ave, is restored back to us, the language that was once the language of mankind, once it is restored back to us, in addition to the name of the Lord. When these two come together, the Ave plus the name of the Lord, we will find what? Unity. The language is the ancient Hebrew. It is the very language that we are using to explain these mysteries to you. And the name of the Lord is Yashi, the Yasa, the Ya and the Sa, the Isa, Yeshua, or Jesus. Wherefore, it is important that we turned back to the ancient Hebrew to learn the same thing, to learn the same truth about who Yahweh is, about who we are, and especially about the Yahweh, the arm of the Lord, the chosen one of Yahweh, the Yah and the Sheh, the Isa, the Jesus, Yeshua. And only then will we know true harmony. In Yashi, we will know true harmony. And with the ancient Hebrew, we will have the truth, we will have clarity, and we will have understanding. We have more videos like this one coming to you soon, so please stay tuned. And there are other important information in the description box of this video, and be sure to check them out. And thank you in advance for continuing with us. My name again is Joshua from Chosen Vessels, the Preacher's channel. And until next time.